South Africa has the largest economy on the African continent. Nicknamed the Rainbow Nation, South Africa is home to a very diverse population of 54 million people and 11 official languages, including Zulu and Afrikaans. English is the primary language used for business. The nation enjoys relative economic stability and a largely pro-business climate. Its growth rate has recently averaged about 2% per year. South Africa is the United States' third largest trading partner by value, and our trade relationship is largely governed by the Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, or TIFA. In 2012, TIFA was amended to help make trade between the US and South Africa easier and more predictable. South Africa also serves as a major business hub for other countries in the region, especially Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, and Swaziland. The U.S. Commercial Service has offices and experts in Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban to help American businesses with things like market research, strategy, and finding customers. So why should a U.S. company export to South Africa?
U.S. exporters should consider South Africa because, number one, it's the most mature and the easiest market to get into in Africa. And if your product or service is going to be competitive in South Africa, you'll have a chance to maybe develop markets in other countries in Africa. And since we are a regional office, we can make those connections to those other countries for you. So come see us in South Africa first, and we'll sort it out where you go next. As you may know, South Africa is the most advanced economy, the broadest economy in Africa. The city itself of Johannesburg is an economic hub for Africa. If the city of Johannesburg was a separate economy, it would actually be the fourth largest economy in Africa. We actually have operations in 8 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, including South Africa. South Africa is the second largest economy in Africa after Nigeria, but it's the broadest and most mature economy. And so in South Africa, there's opportunities in infrastructure, as there are in other sub-Saharan African countries. Most specifically, we're seeing a lot of business in power, and in electricity, power generation, transmission, and we're finding significant opportunities for U.S. companies, and for example, in renewable energy. Solar is a good one. But we're also seeing opportunities in telecommunications. We're seeing opportunities in healthcare.
I would say the main cultural difference for U.S. companies would be not being there for the long term. So I would say not just look at the short-term prospect, always be there to nurture the client or the partner in mind for the long term. And not just go in there for the quick buck and then leave at the end of the day. South Africans don't really appreciate that. They think you're not there for the long term. And also be aware of the cultural aspect of doing business, as well as the language. Although English is the most widely spoken language in South Africa, making business easier, there are African languages which might be a barrier to entry. So be prepared and ensure you have the right people in place.
That's a common mistake US exporters make when trying to enter South African market, is to underestimate the importance of relationship building. South Africans and Africans on the continent in general like to form relationships. They like to form a bond of trust. They like to know who they're dealing with. They like to speak face to face to people. They don't want to deal with middlemen. And once that trust is formed, then they'll start talking business.
South Africa, in particular, Johannesburg, has the infrastructure which makes it ideal as a base for doing business in the rest of Africa. The flight connections, you can get to virtually any country in sub-Saharan Africa from the airport in Johannesburg. But it's not just that. We have the critical mass of not only South African companies and telecommunications infrastructure and so forth, We have approximately 600 American companies doing business in South Africa.
US companies should consider exporting to South Africa because we are open for business. We are the gateway to the sub-Saharan African region. We have some of the best financial institutions in the world. We have transparency with regards to our transactions. We have a huge growing middle class, and with that comes a huge buying power. And it's a great market with huge opportunities in all sectors.
Want to learn more about exporting to South Africa? Explore the South Africa Country Commercial Guide on export.gov or connect with a U.S. Commercial Service trade professional. Brought to you by the U.S. Commercial Service, part of the U.S. Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration.